Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad, and good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lovely to talk to me. Funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore! All right, Brad Gilmore, ESPN Radio, CW39 in Houston. John, thanks so much for taking the time, man. I really enjoyed this movie. It's great to talk to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, you know, I don't know if you recall this or not, but it was maybe a little over a year ago. You were here in Houston for Comic Palooza, and I got to moderate a panel for Napoleon Dynamite with you and Efren. And I remember being backstage, and the one thing I wanted to talk to you about was this movie. I was like, I can't wait to see what Waltzing with Brando is going to be about. And we talked about kind of the production of it and things of that nature. Now people are finally getting to see it. How does it kind of make you feel that it's out there?
Finally it's out there. You know, with every independent film, you never know. Like, at first when I signed on to do the movie, it was like during COVID. And so like, wow, is this movie ever going to happen now? Every single independent film, you never know. It's like, are they going to get the funding? Are they going to get all their ducks lined in a row? And then after you make it, you're like, okay, the people are like, when's it coming out? I was like, I don't know. It's going to come out at some point. Hopefully it could take, sometimes it takes years, sometimes it takes a few months. And so it's finally here. I'm glad. So I'm very excited for people to see it.
Well, you know what? And I mean this honestly. I got to talk to Billy about the movie, and after seeing it, it's one of my favorite films of the year. Just how the story, because, I think Brando he's got some weird mystique about him where people think of him in a certain perspective. And this really opens it up to the kind of fun that Marlon Brando had with the practical jokes and the interplay between him and Bernard in the movie. It just kind of, I don't know, it shines a light on a different aspect of who I thought this guy was.
Yeah, you kind of have, what I kind of dug about is like, here's an actor who's played some of the most dramatic roles, and he probably had real drama in his life. He had his house in LA, and there's probably, drama and things going on in his life. But this was like a chance to see from the point of view of kind of an everyman, my character, Bernard, seeing this guy like in his comfort zone. Here he is, and not just comfort zone, his playground, Tahiti. He bought this island because he fell in love with the culture, the people, this country. And he goes and buys this island. And it's just, whenever he was in Tahiti, he's kind of just, I don't want to think about the stress of work. I don't want to think about my jobs. I don't want to think about being an actor. I just want to be me and lay back and sip Mai Tais and hang out. And really it was kind of his way. And so you get a much more looser version of what we know as Brando, played by Billy Zane, who does an incredible job. But, he's walking around the film either half naked or in a sarong, or just kind of doing whatever he wants because he's like, this is my place. But he's like, I need to make this playground real. I need to make it, design it the way I want it to be. And that's where my character comes in. He's like, I need you to help me realize this. And which is a total job for Bernard. Brando was extremely smart, but still he was kind of like, I'm going to let you take the reins. I need someone who knows what they're doing. So Bernard, my character has to come in and wants to have fun, but also I got to get this impossible task done.
But what's fun about the interplay between Brando and Bernard is there are times where Bernard thinks that he is absolutely insane for trying to do the things that he wants to do. But then we'll see these little spots to where maybe it's actually a possibility, and Bernard's mind kind of opens up to maybe I can make this Xanadu, and it becomes just as much of a passion for Bernard as it does for Brando, and this beautiful friendship is formed.
Yeah, 100%. He is like at first kind of like, all right, yeah, I'm paid to do these kinds of jobs where I have to make the uninhabitable habitable. But yeah, Brando throws him all kinds of, curveballs and like, wait, are you serious? And at first he's like, I can't tell if this guy's serious. And then he kind of just starts like going for it and just like, you know what? He may be serious or not, but yeah, he starts just buying into it and like, let's do this. And he takes the reins and you're almost by the end, you're like, Bernardo, are you okay? Like, do you really know what you're doing?
But what I also love is there's a scene where Bernard's character, obviously played so great by you. I really loved you in this movie. And Billy's been obviously very complimentary of you as a dramatic actor in this, but there's a great comedic moment to where Bernard wants to get back at Billy for all kind of the hijinks and the pranks, and he finally figures out I'm going to really get him back in this one, and has the whole scene that you have about telling the story and trying to scare him or what have you, only for Brando to still have the one up on Bernard at the end of it. That seemed to be, though, a real fun scene to play.
It was, and actually in real life, almost every scene and every moment is taken straight from the book, and that Bernard said happened, and that really was real. He loved to prank, and he wanted to get him back, and he knew. I don't know how apparent it was, but it was like a known fact that Brando was very superstitious and very scared of ghosts and things like that. So he tells that story. I think in real life, though, after he tells it, Brando legitimately was scared and freaked out. And, in the movie, we turn it around pretty quickly, like he pranks him back. But in real life, I think he was pretty shook by that experience.
When you're there with Billy, I think that when you do a biopic, especially somebody as recognizable as Brando, you have like the inclination to do impression. And it's really easy to fall into impression and what somebody thinks of this guy. I think, when someone does, for instance, a Seinfeld impression, it doesn't really sound like Seinfeld, but it sounds like what you think he sounds like.
Yeah.
In this one, though, I don't think Billy does as much impression as it's like the essence of Brando and kind of more of a vibe than it is a one-to-one exactly sounding just alike, if you understand what I'm saying. Did you feel that on set?
Because he was, there are certain scenes for sure that, we portray in the film that are straight from The Godfather or some of his famous scenes. And so, I think he's doing a straight up impression and kind of copying. But then, most of the rest of the movie is taken from undocumented moments in his life that really at least wasn't film documented. There's pictures that we have from Bernard's book and things like that, but it's all mostly at the word of Bernard saying, Brando said this, Brando said that. So I thought Billy did an incredible job of portraying and kind of, playing this character. There's an element of impression, doing an impression of him, but for the most part, you're right. He's getting the vibe and he's playing with like, I think this is how he was. And it captures the book pretty well.
Well, and also my favorite Tarantino film is Once Upon a Time. And what I loved about Once Upon a Time is it felt like you were just hanging out with these characters. It wasn't so much 100% plot driven, although it had its elements in it, but it was just a hang. It was a fun hang. And that's what this movie feels like in a similar sense of like just seeing Brando and Bernard hang out, bond through this, singular project that they're working on, but it's more so hanging out with buddies and just kind of being the fly on the wall.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I liked about it. It's a buddy film. You have like two polar opposites kind of coming from different worlds and learning to work and live together and become one. It's funny because it takes place the exact same time as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where it's like it spans from about like late 60s to the mid 70s. But yeah, it was it's what you like about this kind of films. I mean, Billy and I had a working relationship beforehand. We had worked actually on another film just prior, but it was for a short time. And so being able to now, like, okay, this is Island Billy. This is Island Billy portraying Island Brando. He's more relaxed, it's laid back, and that's what it was. It was like we got to hang out and play in Tahitian, just like our characters. When we wouldn't be shooting, we'd go and we'd swim with the sharks for real.
I mean, that it just had to be so much fun. Like I'll end on this, and again, thank you so much for taking the time. But Billy has made a lot about you as an actor in this role. He felt like this was something that really you sunk your teeth into from a dramatic side, and there are a lot of great dramatic scenes. Is that something that you want to continue to formulate, and what is that connectivity from comedy to drama that works so well when a comedic actor takes on a more dramatic part?
I just look, at each role and just think,
Sure.
can I do this? Will this be fun? Do I like this character? Can I portray it? And that's really kind of, I don't have like, a quota I'm trying to meet where I'm like, well, I got to do a comedy, then a drama, then a horror, then I got to go back and do this. I think every drama is a comedy to me in that, you're putting real people in sometimes crazy situations. And, it's just how much stress and horror, how serious we take those moments that will either make it a comedy or make it a drama. But I mean, sometimes my favorite comedies are essentially just dramas with less stress.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Well, you know what? This movie, even though it had stressful moments for Bernard for sure, it was a fun hang to be able to watch and just like, again, be on fly on the wall for it. It's one of my favorite of the year. So congrats on the film and thanks so much, man, for taking the time. Good to talk to you again.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good one, John. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you too.